Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Bring the noise.
And Greg pops right back in at the last minute. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Wildcard Cinema here on the Full Circle Radio Network. I'm your producer, Joseph JJAlexander. Joining me, my illustrious co-host, Mark. And when he gets into his chair, Greg, how's it going, guys?
It's going great.
Doing well.
It's been a hell of a day. It's been a hell of a week. We lost Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah, the legends keep piling up. Not good.
That was tough. That was tough today. That was not the way I wanted to start my day, was to find out that Catherine O'Hara died.
I mean, that's how you started your day. I started my day with seeing Don Lemon get arrested. So
I'm indifferent to that.
I'm not. I like Don Lemon.
I have not been paying attention to what he even did to get arrested, and honestly, I couldn't give a shit.
He filmed a protest. That's it.
Whatever.
He's out now.
I'm exhausted
same day.
following politics right now. It's exhausting. I'm not even following it. I just hear about it, and I'm like, I can't. I'm done.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well,
interesting.
I just got back from seeing the new Sam Raimi movie.
Oh, nice. It's like a 90 something on Rotten Tomatoes already. It's getting great reviews.
So, funny thing to know about Send Help. It is Sam Raimi's Hell on the Pacific.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
yes.
Well,
that's
then.
what it is. That's what it is.
oh damn.
That's kind of like, you can see that in the trailer.
Yeah, you can.
As I was watching, I was like, wait a minute. I've seen this similar before.
Maybe, in fact, even recently.
Maybe even on our podcast.
I tell you, it's going to be an interesting year for movies, going back and editing all the year in review and the looking forward to. I got to say, I think this year is going to be bookended by the best movies. I honestly think Bone Temple hit it out of the damn park. And I don't think I think everything else is just going to be the middle of the sandwich until we hit Doomsday.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff. We'll see.
There is, but I think those are going to be the two pillars. Like, Bone Temple set the bar high for the rest of the fucking year.
Sure did.
Mm-hmm.
Sure did.
So good. So good. Did you get to finish Wonder Man yet, Greg?
No, I don't binge anything. I usually do, like, I usually have like a rotating 4 to 5 shows I watch at the same time, and I watch one episode of each night, and then
I plan to just watch one episode.
Yep.
I plan to watch one episode, and then the next thing I know, we watch 6.
Is that a Marvel show or something?
Yeah, it's a Marvel Spotlight. They dropped all 8 episodes at once.
Yeah.
So yeah, we no, dude, it's fucking good.
I'm sorry, but at this point, it's fucking good is not going to get me to watch yet another goddamn Marvel show.
Okay, let me put it this way. Are you a fan of the movies Midnight Run and Midnight Cowboy?
The first, yes. The second, yeah, sure.
Then it's fucking amazing. Because that's what it is.
I'll just go pop in Midnight Run, thank you.
You're missing out, dude. Like, I've been waiting for them to make a cinematic version of Wonder Man for fucking 30 years. and it was great. The only reason they dropped it as a Marvel Spotlight is because it's one of the things where you don't need to watch like a whole bunch of stuff to get into it.
Yeah, I mean, I do
Iron Man
still
3.
find
That's
it.
about all you need.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but I find it a little funny that they're like, it's Marvel Spotlight, and then like the major character from Iron Man 3 from 15 years ago. You pretty much have to know. Yeah. I didn't even get there that far. So.
Oh, you never saw Shang-Chi?
No, I have. I didn't get that far on the show unless I'm missing something.
No, it's Trevor. Yeah. Trevor comes back. Yeah. That's the whole thing. It's like a buddy movie between Simon and Trevor Slapp. Fucking great.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. It's not like any other Marvel property yet.
Folks like Iron Man 3 again all of a sudden. I thought I was the only one who liked that movie.
I always loved Iron Man 3. What's it about?
Iron Man 3
shitting bad incessantly everywhere.
Yeah, it got some bad some bad outcry from people. I never understood. But
I hated Iron Man 2.
What a missed opportunity Iron Man 2 was. Like when you find out what that movie was supposed to be, watching the movie gets better because you can see all the shit they were gonna do, but then the studio got involved. So you can see the promise, and there's really good stuff in Iron Man 2, but it doesn't hang together as a good movie.
Right. But the guy that wrote the Wonder Man series is the same guy that wrote Shang-Chi, and he's also one of the guys that's writing the new Spider-Man movie. It's worth the watch. And it goes by like nothing. Like I said, we only plan on watching like 1 or 2 episodes. We watch 6 in one sitting.
Are they like half-hour episodes, or are they hour long?
I think they're half hour.
20. Yeah. They're like 27 minutes, really.
So like half hour, but because I get the commercials with my Disney Plus. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's very short, but it's good. Yeah, it's really good. I like that actor that plays.
Yamatine. Yeah,
he's good.
Yeah, he's great. And Ben Kingsley's fucking Ben Kingsley, dude. Like,
of course.
It's like I said about Ray Fiennes. He could read the fucking phone book. But anyways, off topic as usual. It happens. So yeah, you're a wild card. Send them over. A blind draw movie podcast. You don't have to watch us from the beginning. You can jump in at any time. That's the beauty of us. But as far as how it goes, I'll just hand it over to Past JJ to let you know how the rules go around here. The season consists of 11 episodes in total. Every episode features reviews of 3 specific movies, 1 from each of our 3 panelists. That means every show, you're getting 3 different perspectives and 3 different films to analyze and dissect. Prior to the beginning of the season, each of us has written down our movie selections on slips of paper. Those slips were put into our own personal containers, a collector's cup, a crystal skull, whatever seemed to be handy. At the end of each episode, we make a blind pull from our stash, and those 3 pulls become the movies we'll review on the following show. The films we reviewed today were chosen at the end of episode 7. When we make our pulls, we all have to keep a straight face. No tipping your hand, no smirks, and no groans. Just a straight up poker face. That way, nobody knows what to expect until we sit down to review on the following episode. Now, the reasoning behind our movie choices can be just about anything. Maybe it's a film we think deserves more attention, or one we feel was overhyped and overexposed. Maybe it has an elaborate story behind its production. Maybe it's just a film that one of us hasn't gotten around to watching yet and needs to cross off the old bucket list. Or maybe, just maybe, it's a movie one of us absolutely hates and wants to vent about to the group. Each panelist has their dealer's choice on when they make their reveal. Before the discussion starts, the dealer may show or hold until everyone else is weighed in. And then there's the show's namesake. Mixed in with those slips of paper is one that just says wild card. If that card gets pulled, that panelist gets to throw in a movie that wasn't part of his original lineup. Think of it like a sideboard card at tabletop gaming or the river card in poker. That one surprise element that keeps everyone on their toes. As of this episode, there are still 2 wild cards in play for the season. The one solid long-standing rule is that every movie has to be available online, whether on a streaming service or video on demand, so anyone can track it down and watch at their leisure afterwards. So let's let the fun begin. And from this point forward, spoilers ahead. All right. So, judging by the order that we've been going, Mark finished out last episode, so he gets to start this one.
All right.
Cool beans.
And what was your selection, Mark?
My selection was 1993's Freaked.
Ricky Coogan, Brat Pack Sleazebag. Elijah C. Scuggs, Freak Show Tycoon, an amateur bioengineer.
I can look at a guy like Kevin Costner and see a giant peach grub.
When fate brought them together, Mr. Scuggs took an average Hollywood slime ball and made something out of him.
Oh, God! This was my good side!
Freaked. It's about friendship,
I thought I told you to shut up!
loyalty,
I say we kill him.
life's big questions,
How many feminists does it take to screw in a light bulb?
oh, show business.
The public does not want to see disgusting, depraved, violent filth.
And I suppose Jake and the Fat Man was just a fluke.
It's about state-of-the-art technology. It's about Mr. T's the bearded lady.
I am woman. Now like me.
It's about Bobcat Goldthwait as a sock.
It's the end of the world! The apocalypse!
It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry.
And it'll make a cold sore that you thought had healed up start bugging you again.
It's the kind of film Brooke Shields has always wanted to do.
Oh.
Introducing Larry Bud Melman as the President of the United States.
What's the matter? Afraid of a little rough stuff?
In Freaked. Freaked, but ugly, but funny.
Welcome to show business, morons!
Another
First I
Larry
knew
Bud
Larry
Melman
Bud-
appearance.
So first I knew he was playing the president in it.
Yeah, that they don't mention that.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, released in 1993, Freaked was written by Tim Burns, Tom Stern, and Alex Winter, directed by Alex Winter and Tom Stern, starring Alex Winter, Randy Quaid, Brooke Shields, Keanu Reeves, and Mr. T. On a budget of $12 million, it pulled in a worldwide box office of $29,296. The synopsis is a vain actor, his best friend, and an activist end up at a mutant freak farm run by a weirdo scientist. Dealer's choice, Mark, show or hold?
I'm gonna show because I just want to. The reason I picked this is because I had never seen it, and I wanted to cross it off the old bucket list. And I was familiar with it because it used to be, I think it was like HBO, like back in the 90s a lot. And I always kind of like would see a little bit of it because I was a teenager. I was like, yeah, this really isn't doing it for me. And I would go to something else. And through the years, I've heard a lot of really great stuff about it. And I love Alex Winter. I think he's great. And I was like, well, time to finally watch this.
All right. Fair enough. Take the honors, Greg.
All right. Well, I have to thank Mark first and foremost for picking it, because also I have never seen it, but I've even heard Alex Winter talk about it on a podcast before, so I was well aware of what it is.
Cool.
So, and yeah, pretty much overall had a fun time with it. Pretty good. I do think it's kind of a mess, but in a good way. And like the cast is just the cast is awesome, first of all. So
agreed.
I wrote, hell yeah, Encino Man's Megan Ward. I love her Three Stooges routine with the guy connected to her.
Yeah, Blossom's older brother. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, it has William Sadler, and I'm like, I got bogus Journey vibes right from the beginning, not just because the Sadler's in it, but just kind of the way it was filmed too. I fucking love Mr. T in this movie. Quite frankly, I think he's probably the hardest get for this movie, more than like Brooke Shields, because I don't know. I don't know why he did this movie. To be honest, this is like a project.
He needed money in the 90s.
Yeah, but dude, like if you know him, he's like, he's not just about money. Like he definitely will take like moral high ground and be like, I'm not doing that. And I guarantee you, there were things in the script or that they tried to get him to do, like ad lib or last minute, and he was like, I ain't doing that. I guarantee. But he was great. I don't know if you guys noticed, the cowboy is played by Wild Card Cinema alum John Hawkes. He's also in there.
I did not notice that. Okay.
And I gotta say, I don't know about you guys. I don't think I've seen Keanu Reeves give such an emotive performance in his entire career. I mean, he's usually just like, monotone. Even when he's like John Wick, he's like cool as a cucumber, chill, laid back. He is like on 11. He It seems like he drank pots of coffee before he hit the set in this thing. It is hilarious. I thought he was great. Dog Boy, great.
I just want to interject. One thing he definitely did not do before he started filming this was work with a dialect coach for his Spanish accent.
Yeah,
much. It was very reminiscent of his English accent in Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is to say, it was awful.
Yeah. I thought there were funny bits.
Question: whose English accent is worse? Whose English accent is worse, Keanu Reeves or Winona Ryder?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a bit of a toss-up.
Yeah, but I thought there were a bunch of good bits. Like the toad bit was very amusing. The hand death is really funny.
That's in my notes.
Yeah. It's funny. I actually wrote, I'm assuming Mark is really into this movie, which surprises me only because of how not into Meet the Feebles he was. And I guess, but he never saw it before, so that makes sense, I guess. Yeah. There's also like some jokes even about movies we've reviewed on the podcast. Like, boy, I haven't seen the Stampede like this since the opening night of Ishtar.
Mm-hmm.
And I did think the shitter callback joke was pretty lame. I didn't like that one, but I also have one question about the movie in of itself. I'm pretty sure the freaks could just all gang up and kill Randy Quaid like immediately. Right?
Yeah, like Dr. Moreau style.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of weird. But overall, like I said, I liked it. Had a really fun time with it. The stop motion stuff looks really good. By the end of the movie, it's really some of the best I've ever seen. Maybe you guys can tell me who worked on the stop motion stuff, but
I can.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'm for sure you get to it. And it really has some of the best practical effects I've seen in a movie. Not to like, maybe that's a little hyperbolic, maybe, but they're great. I just wouldn't want to sit in the makeup chair for however long Alex Winter had to.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's crazy. And also, I wrote here my last note. I wrote, how did they get the shot of the old EES board member falling off the forklift and smashing his head in the back of the truck because it looks completely real? So I guess all that stuff and the practical effects is why the movie cost $12 million. Because I would think this movie cost $1 million. Not because of how it looks, but just who would put $12 million into this? So, but yeah. So
I can shed a little bit of light on that afterwards if you want.
Yeah. But overall, I liked it. I'm glad I saw it. I did actually see like right after I watched it, like the day after, 2 days after, they're releasing a 4K remaster, physical media. So if you like it a lot, you can get the best looking way to see it. So yeah, enjoyable, very good.
Well, I can tell by the expression on Joe's face that he will not be purchasing that 4K.
I don't have a 4K player, bro. Everything I do is digital now.
Automatic non-buy.
I don't own any Blu-rays, let alone 4Ks. Like, no. So as far as the effects go, I was all in because the effects were done by 3 different studios. Because I kind of got cobbled together, but the 2 major ones that did it, there was like the third really didn't have done much to do except for like follow-up. But the practical effects were all done by Screaming Mad George and the Kyoto brothers. So I was all in right away because Screaming Mad George is fucking amazing. He always has been. He's the Asian guy. Any of the practical effects in Big Trouble in Little China. There you go. That's Screaming Mad George.
Oh, okay.
All right. And the Kyoto brothers are obviously... Yeah, and the Kyoto brothers obviously was Killer Clowns from Outer Space, along with other stuff.
Ernest Scared Stupid, yes.
Ernest Scared Stupid, yeah. So that's why like the practical effects in this look fucking great. I will not, and I even liked one of the callbacks, which I think I'm the only person that got the reference when it happened. When the Siamese fucking gimmick right at the beginning when he turns them into a freak, and the claymation goes. And it turns into Gumby and Pokey, and Gumby's jerking off, and Randy Quaid's like, "Hey, Pokey, knock that off." That was a callback to the movie Evil Toons, because there's a scene in it where Randy Quaid walks in on Gumby and Pokey, and Gumby's jacking off in the corner, and he's like, "Pokey, tell him to knock that off." So I was like, "Oh, Evil Toons, I get that." I'm like, I'm the only person that got that probably.
I did not catch that.
Yeah. So, like, get going right into it. You could tell it was supposed to be an over-the-top movie, so I'm fine with that. I laughed at some things, but overall, like, a lot of the jokes didn't hit for me. Like, I'm not saying it was bad. Like, I love like I said, the effects were great. I think some of the jokes were fucking, like, they were supposed to be stupid, but they were just stupid, like, not funny stupid. Like, and... got hyped up too much for me because in the past few years, both Angry Video Game Nerd and the Nostalgia Critic have both talked about this movie. And they've talked about, like, if you're a fan of this, that, and the other thing, like, you need to see this movie, blah, blah, blah. They both compared it to Nothing But Trouble. But then they went and said, but it's like if Nothing But Trouble was actually funny. And I'm like, fuck you, because I like Nothing But Trouble. And... this is not funnier than Nothing But Trouble.
I agree.
At all. Like, some jokes, I chuckled at. I will give it that. But overall, no. And the fact that they're like, oh, yeah, this is blah, blah, blah. Like, they put it on way too high of a fucking pedestal. So when I actually saw it, I'm like, no, this ain't it. Like, it's okay. I don't hate it. But no. Like, and then, and I knew like a lot of the backstory going into it about like how this number one was supposed to be a horror movie to begin with, and it turned into a comedy. It was also supposed to be a Butthole Surfers movie in its early inception.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah. And basically there was like one guy who was heading up the studio who was like a big proponent of the movie, and by the time it was like in post-production and getting ready to be released, he was fired from the studio. So the other execs were like, fuck this movie.
Yeah, they were like,
and so
what
that's
is
why
this?
it got like it got like no release. But yeah, because the whole thing, this was actually a send-off. This was actually supposed to be, there was a show on MTV that Alex Winter worked on with the guy. It was called The Idiot Box. And this was basically the Idiot Box movie.
Yeah, this was supposed to be like a big studio film. That's why it's $12 million. That like Mallrats, I think, was like $5 million. And that was a year later or a couple years later. This movie was they were getting behind this movie. And then with the regime change at the studio, and they were like, they had some bad test screenings. They were like, well, fuck this movie.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh, sorry. Steve Johnson's XFX was the other company. I They're like not that big of a company. But yeah, it was okay. Like, I like the effects. It's a solid meh for me. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Like I said, like the jokes I laughed at, I giggled at the Santa Flan at the beginning. I laughed at the Blue Lagoon meta joke. Because like, you know, when he's like, you know, it's like, was there a movie on the flight? Yeah, Return to the Blue Lagoon. Oh, I heard that was awful. It's because Brooke Shields didn't come back to do Return to the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
Because the Return to the Blue Lagoon was basically just softcore porn for 13-year-olds. That's literally all it was. I think I'm on the only call back to Evil Tunes. I thought it was funny when Ricky's like, I'll just wait for Gremlins 3 to come out. I said, trust me, Ricky, Gremlins 3 is never getting made. No matter how many fucking people on the internet try to tell me it's getting made. It's set to be released in 2027. Sure it is. Sure it is. I've been seeing the same Gremlins 3 teaser poster every year for the past decade. Not happening. Yeah, I just literally said for every one sight gag that hits for me, there's like 20 that don't. The Rastafari,
dude,
I hated that. I hated that so fucking much.
And smoke out of their pupils.
This is racially insensitive.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But yeah, like as far as people putting on a pedestal above a movie like Nothing But Trouble, I disagree with it. But it was okay.
All right. Well, like I said, I had never seen this before. I was open-minded and I was kind of on board pretty early on. Like it starts off weird. It's kind of like you're trying to read like what's the humor, what are they going for? And at some point I just realized, oh, they're just throwing everything to the wall and seeing what sticks. Like it wants to be a Zucker Brothers movie kind of. And
yeah, there's
some really dumb shit in it. There's really not like there's moments where I rolled my eyes. However, there were moments where I literally laughed out loud, and it's hard for a movie to get me to laugh out loud. And they're like the butterfly joke where the girl is like, oh, you know, she puts her finger out and the butterfly lands on it, and then something shocking happens and she like bites her finger and kills the butterfly. That was my first laugh out loud moment. There was another, like Greg referenced, the sock puppet death, or not his death, but when he accidentally like rips off the sock and it's revealed to the crowd that it's just a hand, and somebody in the crowd gets up and goes, it's a hoax. I think that's funny. The milkman thing where they're all trying to escape the compound, but they all had the same idea to dress like a milkman, and they get into a fight. And then Randy Quaid just looks out the window and he's like, that's a lot of milkmen on the same route. No wonder they fight. Come on, guys. That's funny.
By the way, the original milkman there was Tim Burns, the other director.
Say what?
The milkman the first milkman that pulls up, like that Alex Winter goes after, that's Tim Burns, the other director of the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was another joke I thought was really funny. He tries to lure the milkman into the shed by promising you got to see this. There's a turd in here that was a spitting image of Kim Basinger. And the milkman's response is, boy, if I had a dime every time I heard that. And then he goes, oh, she's naked too. He goes, I got to see that. I laughed out loud, guys. I thought that was funny. I feel like it's one of those movies where I wish I could have been in the writer's room when they were writing this, because they were like, we got basically a blank check from the studio to make whatever bug nuts bonkers movie we want to make, and we're not going to hold back. And I respect that. I have to respect that.
I guess. I don't know. He's getting a 4K, so there's obviously got like a
dead silence for this movie. A moment of silence for Freaked.
like I said, it had some hits, just way too many other misses for me. But
this, when I got done watching this, I seriously thought, like, I thought to myself, like, I don't know if I would buy this, but I'll probably watch it again.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, I mean, it hits satire better than a lot of other satire shit I've seen, so it's got that going for it. Like, I'd watch this over any of the insert movie things from the mid 2000s here.
You're right. Right. And guys, the prosthetics, like you both mentioned, the prosthetics are out of this world. Amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty amazing.
Like, that's where the budget they really went all out on that stuff. And there's stuff that, like, the fight at the end between the giant Alex Winter and then the giant troll kid, like, that shit looks amazing. That's
Screaming Mad George, dude, man.
Yeah,
if you ever get a chance to watch, I'm trying to remember which volume of it. I think it's In Search of Darkness, Volume 3, the 80s horror documentaries. I think it's Volume 3. There's like an entire like half hour, 45-minute segment that's an interview with Screaming Mad George, where he talks about his inspirations and everything he's done. And like, he's cool as shit, but he's an out there guy, because like a lot of people just know the name. They don't know, like, he's like this Asian dude with like all these facial piercings and long bleach blonde hair and shit. And he's out there, but he's fucking awesome.
I'm going to look into him a little bit, because I want to see more of his process, more of his stuff, like more of his work. Very impressive.
Yeah. Go on the drive, In Search of Darkness, Volume 3. It'll talk about everything he's done. Because I think I'm almost positive. Streaming Mad George is the guy that did all the effects for Dead Heat as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Joe Piscopo.
I think that's why I love him so much. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Well, like, if you remember that whole scene in the Chinese delicatessen with like the zombie pigs and shit, Streaming Mad George.
Oh, Dead Heat.
He knows what he's doing, man. He's like, outside of the K&B effects team, like, he's one of the really good ones. Like, he's up there with Savini as far as, knows what the fuck he's doing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So any other thoughts on this?
I think I'm good.
I'm all set, I think.
All right. So if you are interested in watching Freaked, it is currently available on YouTube for free. The Internet Archive, you're welcome.
Nice.
As well as video on demand on Apple TV and Amazon Prime.
Apparently there's like a European cut of this that's got more footage. I don't know much about that, but
I couldn't find it. It might be on the 4K that's coming out.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. As it was, like, because I had it, I actually had this on the drive for a while and I hadn't watched it yet. And I had to go and find a cleaner copy, because the copy I had was like some knockoff Joe Bob Briggs fucking show where they were like cutting into it with their own comments. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Dude, I was going to talk about that. I started the movie and I'm like, what's this? So I looked and luckily it was on Canopy. So I'm like, okay, cool. Oh, it's on Canopy as well. Okay. But yeah, it's on YouTube for free, like in HD. So
it's either on Hoopla or Canopy, but I was like, it saved me, because like the movie's only like 77 minutes or 82 minutes, and the one on your drive was like 2 hours. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Right. Right. That's why I was confused. And then I went, and so the one that's on the drive now is the actual like straight version.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. So before we get to our next selection, we'll just do what we got to do when we pay the bills around here, because that's what, that's how things get run, even though, everything gets more expensive. But I would just like to let y'all know the Quitters Week has officially come and gone. Has your motivation dropped, or do your goals still matter? If you went with option 2, the DUBBY Energy gives you clean energy with no sugar or fillers, powered by coffee fruit extract and B vitamins. And it's what I use before the gym, or when I have to hit the pool, or any other time when I just need that extra little boost, so I get locked in without crashing. So go ahead. You got to try flavors like Grandma's Lemonade Hydration, Chainsaw Sliced Blood Orange, or Rhoda Block's Restore Potion. Click on that QR code in the corner, creep down in the description for a link, or just, head over to dubby.gg and the code Full Circle Radio for 10% off at your checkout. And that's 10% off every order, not just your first order. Keep your year going strong. Don't be a dummy. Get yourself a tubby of Dubby. Dubby, be better. And RIP to my tub of grandma's denture water. No, so I don't know what happened, but one of my tubs was like on the counter in the kitchen, and apparently it must have fallen into the kitchen sink or something. And so like I went to go like get some grandpa's denture water the other day, and I was like, why the fuck won't this thing open? And I finally like get it cranked open, and some water had gotten inside, and so it was just caked and unsalvageable.
No
so I
blamable.
lost like a third of a tub, and that was a limited flavor.
It's more of a third of a tubby.
Okay, yes, a third of a tubby. So yeah. So it is what it is. All right. So moving right along in the order that we're going, Greg, your selection is next.
Okay. I got 2020's The Binge.
America, a few years from now, prosperous, clean, and sober. Except one night a year, when all drugs and alcohol are legal.
For you seniors, you will be able to participate in your first binge. Let's say your name's Kimberly Jones, and let's say you binged on a jet ski, which exploded into flames. She's here tonight. Can you guys guess which one she is? I'll give you a hint. You're cold, getting warmer, red hot, burning hot. She's the one who looks like a mummy.
So, are you gonna binge?
After your dad's speech?
I've been seriously thinking about it.
Me too, by the way.
This is our last chance to make a great memory.
7, 6.
Tonight, we become legends.
Hey, everybody. What's happening here?
You roofied our parents? Look, we go to that party, you look Lena in the eyes and tell her exactly what you wanted to tell her your entire life. Let's go! Andrew here?
You guys cops?
I have friends, Mom. Why don't you believe me?
Probably because your tendency towards violence that is banned from the church.
I'll bury you behind a Jiffy Lube, and my friends are gonna help me. We will not be doing that.
It's Lena. She just texted from the party. She asked how long till we're there.
Tell her we're picking up some presents.
It auto-corrected to I'm gonna get you pregnant.
Wait!
We'll give you a ride if you punch each other in the face.
What?
We'll do it.
1, 2.
What have we done? Rumor has it that the girls are here. This is a little bit more of an adult party.
Yeah, and you're still wearing your pants.
To our first sip of alcohol.
Another round?
Absolutely.
I'll have some celery sticks.
I really don't think we should be doing this many drugs.
I don't think we should be doing anyone right. That's you.
Okay, released in 2020. The Binge was written by Jordan Vendina, directed by Jeremy Gorelick, starring Vince Vaughn, Skylar Gazondo, and Dexter Darden. I could not find budget info on it. It was a Hulu original that was dropped directly onto streaming in 2020. I do not know whether it was ever supposed to get a theatrical release because of its release of August of 2020, or if it was already planned on being dropped on a Hulu originally. The synopsis is, in the not-so-distant future, all drinking and drugs have been made completely illegal by the government, except for one night a year. High school seniors Griffin, Hags, and Andrew make a pilgrimage to get to the best party in town, where all their dreams will come true. They will have to avoid their crazed principal, violent siblings, and the wild animals roaming the streets. Dealer's choice, Greg. Show or hold?
I'm going to wait till the end.
He's gonna hold. All right. Mind if I take the lead, Mark?
Go for it.
All right. So this had flown under my radar, which amazed me because I was usually like on par with like shit that was getting released on Hulu, like when it got dropped, like Hulu originals and shit. And it flew under my radar. So I didn't see it when it came out almost 6 years ago, 5.5 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah. That's how long it's been. But and I was expecting this to be a typical satire movie, you know, obviously, because it's a riff on The Purge. So I thought it was going to be like a Zucker Brothers version of Purge. It was not. And I was happy that it wasn't. I really fucking dug this movie. I look at it as, I know a lot of people always like to point to the fucking movie Superbad, and I hated that fucking movie. I hated it so fucking much. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it when it first came out, but I sat down and watched it because the wife said she loved it. So when we were first dating, I sat down and watched it and did not laugh once. This is what Superbad should have fucking been. Because hell yes, I was in for it, especially when fucking Argyle showed up. I was like, Argyle! Okay, I'm in. Mark doesn't know who the fuck I'm talking about, but
I don't know what Argyle means.
The dude with the long hair, the Hawaiian dude with the really long hair, he plays a character in season 4 of Stranger Things named Argyle. And that's all I can think of him as Argyle, but it's basically the same character, and I fucking love him. So I was like, Argyle! But yeah, I had a fucking blast watching this. I was like, how did I miss this? Like, this is fun. The only like I did say subtract a point for the compilation of YouTube fail clips during the opening credits montage. I'm like, that's fucking lazy. Like, I don't like that. And that almost set me sour for the whole movie, but they recovered right away. And I gave a solid laugh right from the beginning for the narrator saying, the Chiron saying the narrator is not Morgan Freeman. And then during the narration, he fucking mentions voiceover theft. Mm-hmm. I was just like, that's fucking great.
That was a good gag, yeah.
That's the first time I've seen the trailer, and why don't they have him narrate the trailer? I don't know.
Right?
I don't know. Maybe because people would think Morgan Freeman donated, fucking did the trailer.
Maybe.
I guess.
Yeah. I thought it was funny because I was like taking notes along his because it was a first time watcher for me, obviously. And the second he says, like things I'm trying to avoid, and he said our lives turning into a musical, and I thought he was talking about fucking High School Musical. Little did I know that they would break out into a musical number later on.
Right.
I was like, okay, now I get it. And my next note was please don't turn into Superbad. Please don't turn into Superbad. I don't know who I said this at. I think it was like the really geeky kid. I said, oh no, it was the black kid. That was like, you know, he kept saying all the wrong lines and everything and trying to be cool, but he wasn't. And like everything was falling flat. And I said, as annoying as this kid is, there were so many people like him in high school. Like that is some method acting right there, because that there were those people in every fucking everywhere, look in band and chorus and drum, everywhere there was those people. I popped for Godfrey making a cameo as the kid's dad. I was like,
Godfrey,
hey,
always love to see him. Always.
Dude, fucking like we catch him every time he comes to the Funny Bone lately. He's fucking great.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I usually get free tickets.
Really?
There was a Boogie Night spoof, I guess. I'm digging the Boogie Night spoof.
Yeah,
not sure
it's when they exchange wristbands.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yep.
And he's got the air horn, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yep. That's what it was, yeah. And then they aped a scene from My Best Friend's Girl. I was like, wow, I never thought I'd see that coming. Like, yeah, because like I thought I was like one of the only people that's actually watched that movie. I did have a question. The Applebee's, whatever type restaurant they stop at. I said, why does this restaurant have a full service bar with shot glasses if they're only allowed to serve alcohol for half of one day of the year?
Very good point.
I said, they did lose me at the cow scene. I thought that was ridiculous. When they're like giving the cow the drugs to make it come back to life and shit. I'm like, and then it gets fucking, I was like, okay, no, this is getting dumb. But it came back. And it was funny because I said this movie is supposed to be satire. You can't go for the third act split up during satire. It never ends well. But then they just broke into the musical number, and then all of a sudden they were all back together. It was like nothing happened. I was like, okay, you get a pass. You get a pass. And then during the song they were singing, I said, chasing the dragon and shooting smack are the same thing. This is lazy songwriting. They won me back with the Andrew WK music. I wrote Cameron de jour, and I don't remember why. So Cameron de jour.
I couldn't tell you.
And then the one note that I saw, because I watched through the credits, that I said, there was a dedication at the end of the credits. I don't know if you guys saw. It was in memory of Joel Schumacher.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe he worked with, maybe the guy who directed it was he was a PA on a Joel Schumacher film or something, but he dedicated the movie to Joel Schumacher.
That's pretty sweet, actually. That's really sweet.
Yeah. But overall, I had a blast with it.
Mark.
All right. Well, my opinion about this movie could not be more diametrically opposed to Joe's. I hated this. I hated it on a cellular level. It's just a ripoff of Superbad and Booksmart and movies like that did it. The books. I think the director of this saw Booksmart and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do better," and then proceeded to not do any better. It's just, I mean, it thinks it's way funnier than it actually is. Which is really annoying because you're watching these people spout this dialogue that's supposed to be funny banter and a little improv in there. And it's horrible. The funniest part of this movie for me was Vince Vaughn. I'm not a huge Vince Vaughn fan, but apparently he improvised most of his dialogue. And you can tell because it's the only funny shit in the movie. There's stuff when he's in the locker room, he's the coach or the principal rather, and he's in the locker room and he goes, he yells at the kid at the urinal and he's like, "Hey, one shake and you're done, Tommy. At your age, you're a hair trigger. You're liable to blow all over the place. Put the dick down." I thought that was so funny. And the thing where he's ranting about the girl going to the party or whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, that bitch has chaotic energy. She's like a scorpion in a toaster." That's some funny shit. Everything else was I could barely get through this movie. I was hanging on by a thread just to get through this, and then the exact moment that I think I mentally checked out was that fucking musical number. It was that scene where I was like, okay, fuck this fucking movie. I hated this. I hated it. I'm sorry, I'm getting choked up because I hate this movie so much. I have nothing more to say other than I highly Do not recommend this piece of shit.
All right. So,
all right, dealer, show your cards.
Mark's a thumbs down. All right. Yeah. So I saw this in 2020 when it came, like the night it came out. Watched it, and it was the musical scene where the light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, "Oh hell yeah!" And watching it again because it's the second time I watched it, I don't even love the movie that much, but it's the musical number that got me on the first watch, and it's the clever parody scenes that I think work really well, especially the Boogie Nights one. There's others. There's others.
Yeah.
As a Purge like rip or riff, it could have been really bad.
It's not even a rip of the Purge. It's just a high school comedy about kids on their way to a big party. The Purge has nothing to fucking do with it. The Binge or whatever. This could have gone without that whole concept. It's unnecessary.
True, because they could be, other than the joke where they take their first shot and they're like, "Oh, this is disgusting." Other than that, there's not really much more to it than that.
Come on. A scene of high school kids taking their first shot. How generic of a joke could you get where they go, "Oh, my first shot, I can't wait. Gulp. Ooh, this tastes bad. Ooh." Come on. The fuck?
So that wasn't the joke, though. The joke was they kept fucking going.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't.
I think I do think like I said, I mean, again, rewatching it, I like it, but it's definitely not laugh out loud material.
It was for me.
But I think there's another thing about comedies in general. We get so few of them that, like, when they're mid, people are like, "Oh man, like this movie, you got to see it." And it's like, no, it's fine, but you're just gauging it because there's no comedies at all anymore. Like, I don't know if you guys saw Just One of Them Days last year with SZA and
no.
Keke Palmer. Yeah, SZA and Keke Palmer. Everyone's like, "Oh, this One of Them Days is one of the best movies of the year. It's so funny." Like, I went saw it with a live audience, like in a movie theater, and like it was tepid at best. Like it was it was fine, but like I wasn't like laughing my ass off or I got to see that again or anything. So I guess I do think today's landscape, we almost judge comedies on like a curve.
Yeah, like with a curve. Yeah,
it's kind of sad. But Joe's right. They do allude to their lives turning into a musical 11 minutes into the movie, and it wasn't until my second watch. It wasn't until my second watch where I was like, "Oh, like of course," because the first time that line just blew by me. I didn't even get it. But I did. Josh Robert Thompson is the narrator, doing a great Morgan Freeman impression. I gotta say, as a person who sells the products, New Amsterdam vodka. There is a ton of New Amsterdam vodka bottles in this movie, which is very weird.
There is,
New Amsterdam vodka, the Binge's vodka of choice.
I mean, it could be worse. How bad would this age if it was Ciroc?
Oh, true. Yeah. And I did write down, I love the musical scene. I'm surprised if Joe won't love the musical scene based on him picking Reefer Madness, the musical, as a past pick. And that's all I really got to say about it.
Listen, just because I like Reefer Madness doesn't mean I like everything musical.
No, I know. I'm just making a joke, but like I said, would I watch this a third time? Maybe not. Would I watch the musical scene again? Yes. This also falls into what Mark thought was the best part of the movie. This movie falls into my 8-film span, which I call the Vince Vaughn-assance. And, Mark liked it. And if you want other Vince Vaughn-assance recommendations, I have a running list. So, yeah. That's it for me. That's all, folks.
Okay, I guess that was a short and sweet on that one, but if you are interested in watching the Binge, it is currently available on YouTube for free. It's also available on Hulu and Disney Plus.
Watch Booksmart instead.
Fuck no.
I'll second that too. I'll second that. Booksmart is a great movie. So
no, this movie, Superbad, Booksmart, and Good Boys can all go jump in a fucking lake. All three of those movies suck a dick.
Booksmart is a good film, and it's better than this. It does the concept.
You go ahead and say
way better, and it's even got Skylar Gazondo in it.
It's also fantastically directed, and Dan the Automator Nakamura did the music for it, and it's also an amazing score and very different. So.
When I first saw the trailer for Booksmart, I think I was in a theater with Joe, and I literally out loud was like, "Fuck this movie," because it looked like, oh, it's the female Superbad,
right?
But then
and Good Boys was the fucking 12-year-old Superbad.
Yeah, when I watched it, I went, "Oh my god, this is way better than I ever would have conceived it to be," and it's way better than this.
I didn't care for Good Boys, but it is funny that it's easy to make comparisons to Booksmart and Superbad, especially because Jonah Hill's sister stars in Booksmart. So it's easy.
Beanie Feldstein.
Beanie. So yeah, power rankings. Superbad, Booksmart, Good Boys.
0, 0, 0. Fuck them all.
Moving on.
Joe's vaping up, getting ready for this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's on to me. Okay, so all right. For this episode was the 2004 adaptation of Stephen King's Salem's Lot.
I used to think nothing happened here. The truth is, everything happens here.
A dark secret.
When do we meet your partner?
In his own good time. Awakened by a mysterious stranger.
I saw a plastic bag in the back seat. Was it little boy size? It was head size.
This June.
I know your name!
What about the house?
It scares me.
Old friend is coming home.
Life is such a precious gift. I don't know how to stop it.
Based on Stephen King's best-selling novel.
Let me in, Danny.
What's happening to this town?
Rob Lowe, Andre Braugher, Rutger Hauer, and Donald Sutherland. Salem's Lot. Don't miss 2 nights of suspense, beginning Sunday, June 20th at 8.
I happen to like it here.
Only on TNT.
The trailer was way shorter than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, no shit.
For TV. I thought he was going to go into the talk of the production, and I'd be back by then. But
no, I was waiting for y'all to get back. So yeah. So now I'll get into it. Okay. So Salem's Lot was written. The screenplay was written by Peter Filardi, based on the novel by Stephen King. Directed by Mikhail Solomon, starring Rob Lowe, Donald Sutherland, Andre Braugher, and James Cromwell, and Rutger Hauer. It was made on a budget of $15 million. It was released on television. However, it only got shown like twice, and then it was actually released on DVD as one movie. Much like the original Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
This writer home of Jerusalem's Lot and discovers that it is being terrorized by vampires. Dealer chooses to hold.
Mark,
Greg, would you like to take the honors?
No, because I went first the first time. You haven't gone first yet. So.
Oh, that's right. Okay. All right. Here we go. I fucking love this movie / miniseries. I've got it on DVD. I think it is the vastly superior adaptation of the 3 adaptations. There was the Toby Hooper one, there's this one, and there's the movie that came out a couple of years ago,
2024.
There's also Return to Salem's Lot, but I don't count that.
No, because it has nothing to do with the source material. That's still a good movie, though.
Oh, okay. I've never seen it.
Tom Holland.
What's that?
Tom Holland, the director, did it, and it's a standalone, but you can watch it. It's a fun movie.
Oh, cool. All right. I think this is the best we're going to get as far as an book accurate, to my knowledge, pretty book accurate. I mean, the problem with the film that came out a couple of years ago was it tried to take a sprawling ensemble story and condense it into a little movie-sized package, which this source material is not meant to do that. It's meant to take its time to introduce these characters. And as silly as a spooky vampire movie is, I think this nails it. There's a lot of creepy shit in this, from the fact that the guy who owned the original house was in league with the devil and having these orgies or whatever. And one of the girls later in the future during this story falls in love with an older guy. And there's just so many levels to this. And I think Rob Lowe is really good. And I think Donald Sutherland, I mean, his eyes alone should have won an Emmy for this.
He chews the fucking scenery in this.
Oh my God. He goes, and he is creepy in this. It could have been campy, but he really makes it creepy. I think Rutger Hauer, even though he's barely, he really isn't in this a hell of a lot. He's a presence in this, but he's not a main character, although he is arguably the main character, but you barely see him. I would take him over the blue golden-eyed vampire monster of the original any day. I think he really gets under your skin a little bit, and he's not just an evil monster. He gets in your head. And he's even if you're literally about to kill him, he will Hannibal Lecter you into not killing him. I thought it was great. The only criticism I have of this is not the movie's fault at all. I'm calling it a movie, but I guess it is. But the only fault is that there's a clear demarcation in the middle of it, right after when Ben Mears is in the prison cell and the guy's crawling through, and it cuts to black, and the next scene is more the flowery narration, a little summary of the story, that it's this is the second half of the story. This was a part 2. But if you can get past that, God damn, this is a good time. This is a good time.
All right,
Greg.
I felt totally differently. It's just, I found it incredibly boring, but I understand why I did, and it's not the fault of the project. It's made for TV in 2000, and if you watch even the best television show in 2000, you're gonna be unless you're The Sopranos,
right?
It's gonna be not aged well. Now, I didn't write down I've been thinking the entire time since I watched it. I know why Joe picked it, and Mark said why Joe picked it right from the beginning. It's the best adaptation of the book, and that's the best it's going to be. Problem is, if I'm the best violin player on my block, I'm still a shitty violin player. So I
love
mean,
that.
there is stuff that I liked about it, like like you said, Rutger Hauer, loved him. That Rutger Hauer scene near the end is so good, but it just takes so long to get there. And I get it, like you can make a zippy, better or more
streamlined,
but not even that, just like a more action filled, or just not as slow to build characters, but you pack it into 1 hour and 50 minutes, and it's like, no, you need 3 hours. And I understand that.
Yeah, you got to let this sizzle. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, it just I just kept thinking I'm watching TV, and it's like, okay, which again, I guess is my problem. That's my problem. That's not the problem of the project. But yeah, I mean, and again, they get great actors. Like Rob Lowe's a good actor. Don't know if he's perfectly cast in this role. But he's a good actor. Andre Braugher, great actor. Donald Sutherland, even though his girdle is struggling around that stomach, I've never seen him this portly. He's a great actor, obviously. But
Donald Sutherland's girdle. That's the name of my new band, by the way.
It's hard for me. It's just hard for me. Like I think Joe has said, like, Joe didn't like either of the It movies, right? You didn't like either one?
No, I did.
The new ones? Oh, you did? Okay.
I did.
But
yeah.
But you said the Tim you like the Tim Curry one better, or
I prefer the Tim Curry one, but I think that's just because I grew up with the Tim Curry one.
Yeah, see, like if I watched the Tim Curry version right now, having never seen it, I'd just be like, what the fuck is this? Like, you know, even later, like earlier, I mean, like the 70s or early 80s, like
1990.
And is that it's that late?
Yeah. The Tim Curry It came out in 1990. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. You know, and that was on network TV. I would think that's even like probably more. I'd probably struggle with that even more. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, there is some cool stuff in here. I thought the vampire stab scene up to the ceiling, turned to dust, looked really awesome. But I was mostly just picking apart like odd things. Like, yeah, I would just run away and let my friend get killed in an iced over lake too. Like, run! My friend's getting killed. Run away! It's like, the doctor in the story is an epic dumbass. I wrote that note.
Yeah,
I wrote that note twice because he did two things incredibly dumb during and again, that's King's book. I'm sure that's not the movie's fault, but I'm just like, I just didn't get it. There's a scene where I wrote, this guy wears shoes in his house, and then he's worried about making noise, and then he opens the door so slowly to make the loudest creak possible. I don't know. And then I just wrote, hunting season's over. Should have started my thing off of that. But I don't know, again, like, listen, is this for me? Is this for me? No, it's not. Because again, like I've told you guys, most things I approach, I have no concept of the source material. I don't read a lot of books. I'm a very slow reader. I definitely have not read a lot of Stephen King, although I have listened to podcasts about both the Shawshank Redemption and Stand By Me recently, and I did read that novella in college, again because it's short and I do well with short. I don't do well with The Stand, where it's this thick. Like I don't. So listen, this is not for me. I'm Stephen King fans probably love this because, like you guys say, or like I'm assuming Joe's gonna say, this is the best adaptation there's gonna be of it. I know you guys like his work. I have a friend who's a fucking Stephen King super fan. He was the first person I texted after Joe picked the movie. Let me know what I'm getting into. He's like, yeah, it's pretty solid. It's pretty good. Okay. The failings of it are just me on a me level, because like I said, like I loved some TV shows in 2000s that I know for a fact if I put them in right now, I'd be like, the fuck is this? Like, because like Dexter was considered high level TV in mid 2000s, and it's like, yeah, that's, come on. I mean, when you compare it to TV shows today, that's why I also listen to podcasts about movies, and back in the day, before I guess HBO, and to a much greater extent now the streaming services, you did not have movie people in TV stuff. You just didn't. That did not happen. TV was beneath them because it was not great quality. Like, you don't get the quality of TV you get today 20 years ago. So, so again, this is not the fault of the project. It's a wiring of my brain that I can't get behind. And if I knew Salem's Lot, maybe I'd be like, hell yeah, this is great. But I just found it really long, and I don't mind long movies, but there needs to be, I think, especially when I'm watching a long movie, I need like cinematic, or I just need it, like, I need the scenes, like, I need it to be like perfectly tight. Like when I watched The Godfather as a kid, I was like, this is fucking long as hell. And then the last time I watched it in Dolby Cinema, I'm like, no, this is fucking, they do not waste 1 second of timing in this film at all. It's perfect. And I didn't get that here, so I guess I need like some visuals or something else to keep me invested in 3 hours. When again, and like again, I saw a couple of things that I thought looked cool, and Rutger Hauer always brings it to the fullest extent. But yeah, it didn't do anything for me.
Okay. So, time on my hand. So, same as Mark, I own this on DVD. There's a lot of reasons that I put this in as a selection. First and foremost being, I got really fucking sick a few years ago with people texting me going, did you see they're remaking Salem's Lot? And I went, they already fucking remade it in 2004.
You can remake a remake.
And I said, mark my words, whatever they do is going to be a piece of shit. Sure enough, everyone who's watched the one that came out last year said it's a piece of shit.
I almost watched it after this.
So, just saying, I called it. But there is also a huge comparison that I wanted to bring up, basing, the comparison of this and the 1979 version. Now, mind you, I'm a big Tobe Hooper fan. I love Tobe Hooper.
Same.
I miss Tobe Hooper. I think the 79 Salem's Lot is a piece of shit. I think it's terrible. I fucking hate it. I hate when people bring it up to me.
You mean it's terrible as a film, or terrible as an adaptation, or both?
I hate, like, adaptate. Like, I'm gonna leave adaptation over here for now. Just as a film, I fucking hate it.
Okay.
Like, it's, and the thing is, a lot of people don't realize the 79 Salem's Lot was a made-for-TV movie.
Correct.
It was a made-for-TV miniseries that they then combined into a feature length and put in the theaters when they saw how much people watching TV like. And
yeah, I was going to ask that. Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't see why, because I always thought it was a piece of shit. Like, I never cared for, like, in the original, like, you can't relate to any of the characters. It drags not to mention the fact they changed so much from the book, but it's just not enjoyable. Like, you can't relate to any of the characters. No one's fucking likable. Like, and it's like everything looks dirty and like not in a good way, like cheap. Like, and just like the guy that what do you call it? The guy that plays Straker in the original, like he looks like a fucking like James Bond henchman, like so fucking stupid, like with the Odd Job fucking bowler and shit. Like I hate the 79 version so much. I fucking hate it. And when the 04 version came around, I went, holy shit, this is fucking good. Especially because, I don't know, the fact that in the fucking Tobe Hooper version, Kurt Barlow never utters a fucking sentence.
Yeah.
And he's just blue Nosferatu, suck a dick.
Yeah.
So the 04 version, since I got the DVD when it came out, like I've always had a special spot in my heart for it. It is closer to the source material. It does its own thing. The bookends at the beginning and the end are completely designed for this adaptation.
Right.
Ben Mears going after the priest, and then like Ben Mears dying. Like that doesn't happen in the book, but it fares better than the nonsense in the book where him and fucking Mark Petrie are, letting it go down in fucking Guatemala hunting vampires. Like I just never dug that part. Like it was just like, what the fuck is this? Like this is fucking, no, I never dug that. So the way they bookended this, I dug a lot more. Like I said, Donald Sutherland chews the fucking scenery in this. Rucker Hauer's fucking great in this. The fucking the chemistry between certain characters, like that whole conversation scene in the hospital between Andre Braugher and James Cromwell, like that's just two good actors fucking going at it. Like James Cromwell is so underrated as a character actor.
I agree.
I have a question. How old is the girl supposed to be that is like into Rob Lowe?
Oh, Sue Norton, she's basically supposed to be in like her late 20s. Like mid to late 20s.
Okay. Cuz it reads more like she's in her early 20s because she's like, "Oh, I want to get back out to New York or LA wherever she was." And like seems like it seems like she graduated
high school. She went to college in New York, dropped out 2 years in, came back to Salem's Lot, and has been there for the last few years trying to save up money to go back.
That's why I thought she would be like 23 then, because if she dropped out of school 2 years in and she's like, "Oh, I want to get back there," you don't really say that like 9 years later.
Well, it's like she's like mid 20s. It's like mid 20s. It's what's the more problematic in it is the girl that the doctor's messing around with, because she's 20 in it.
Well, of course, but the actress, the Rob Lowe actress, she looks 30 at least, and I mean,
right?
And
just
it didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, like I said though,
because
the doctor's a fucking idiot.
Right, the doctor's an idiot. However, what's the name of that? I had the name. The girl that played the mother, Bree Bain, is the girl that played is the actress that played that girl. She's the worst fucking thing in this. Like she can't act. Like everyone else is doing their best, and she's like just delivering these wooden fucking lines. Like as it is, like she went under a different name in the credits. So like she obviously this must have been one of her first roles.
I didn't actually mind her being bad because like the character's bad. So it's like,
but because that was a riff on something that they were trying to riff on something in the Tobe Hooper version with that. And it just didn't come out well because there's a big shotgun scene in the fucking 79 version that like they tried to redo and it just didn't work.
Is that relationship with the doctor and her in the book?
It's a little different. It's the doctor. The doctor is having an affair. Like,
okay.
It's weird. Like, but that's the thing is that a lot of people don't realize about Salem's Lot is, yes, it's a movie about vampires, but the vampires aren't the front and center. It's about the town and its people. It's about the inherent evil that is permeating this entire town. Jerusalem's Lot in the King universe is like Derry or like Castle Rock, where the town is a character of it in and of itself. The Marsden house is a character in and of itself. And I think this is the best portrayal of the Marsden house, because in the Hooper version, it's just like a house. And in the 2024 version, they're like, hey, let's just make it look exactly like Norman Bates' house because reasons.
Yeah,
and I hated that.
Because Rob Lowe has the narration about, Jerusalem's Lot and what happened, how the town is and et cetera. So,
right. And that narration comes directly out of the book, which is, I love the opening narration and I love the closing narration every time. And it makes more sense that he dies doing that closing narration. It didn't make sense, the closing narration in the book. Amazingly enough, there's a lot of King fans that completely forget this exists. I was looking for research on it, and there's a couple of low-level YouTubers that reviewed this during COVID because they had nothing better to do, and they just shit all over it, and they're like, this isn't the source material. I'm like, yeah, it is. Did you not read the fucking book? Because yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And yeah, it's it is plagued by early 2000s television budgeting and standards. But then again, like I said, the original Salem's Lot was a television miniseries. So things can be done within constraints. This, I think in a post Buffy the Vampire Slayer world, this definitely showed an improvement. If they had tried to do this in the mid 90s, it probably wouldn't have looked as good. And you got to figure 04 was right on the cusp of the television renaissance. That's when, that's when Sopranos was big. The Wire was hitting it. Breaking Bad was about to hit. Walking Dead was about to hit. That was when, the golden age of TV was starting again.
I remember that era as Sopranos, Sex and the City, The Wire, Weeds, Dexter, California, Dead Like Me, all shows that are very important to the evolution of television, becoming a medium as good as movies. But it's really 2012, 2014, where it explodes into you're making movies. Basically you're making an 8-hour movie essentially.
True story. And then just what was I going to say? I had my notes pulled up. Lowe's exposition fills in so many gaps that the movie left out. One of the most amazing things, two of the key moments in the movie that people don't realize, your main protagonist is Ben Mears. Your main antagonists are Richard Straker and Kurt Barlow. Mears and Straker share 90 seconds of screen time together in the whole movie. It's that one scene in the back of the antique shop. That's the only time they cross paths. Mears and Barlow have that one scene right before he kills him
at the end. Yeah.
Which here's a little bit of factoid for you, because how as great as that Rutger Hauer bit is at the end there, that was the director and Rob Lowe were pissed at Rutger Hauer that day. Why? Because Hauer didn't bother learning the lines and decided to go off on a giant rant about being a cowboy. And it ad-libbed and it fell so fucking flat. And they were like, no, you're going to do it the way this is written. And Rutger Hauer's like, I didn't bother to memorize it. So he's reading cue cards. He's reading cue cards for that entire bit.
He thought he could Blade Runner it again with the fucking teardrop in the rain improv. He's like, I got this. I'm Rutger Hauer. I was in Blade Runner.
Right.
You may have seen me.
Yeah. And so, he's reading cue cards during that scene.
Wow.
That whole fucking monologue, you are the vampire. He's reading cue cards that are being held over Rob Lowe's head. Rob Lowe wrote about that in his memoir.
Oh, damn.
I'm sorry. I cut you off, Greg. What were you going to say?
What? I think the 2024 version suffered big time from what was going on at Warner. Because they were ready to dump it to they dumped it to HBO Max. They
were?
Yeah. It didn't get it theatrical. It got dumped on Max.
It got dumped on Max, and I think they almost I don't think even released it. They probably almost went to the Zaz they almost did the Zaslav special, get the tax break,
put it on the shelf indefinitely.
Yeah, and I think they fucked with like the production too, and everything. So it was made at a bad time for them. But I did want to ask. You watched it. I'm most curious about Lewis Pullman's performance in it. Is he good in that?
I didn't watch it. Like I saw a couple of clips. I was like, this looks like a piece of shit. Like I saw some clips. I was like this, and because I like Lewis Pullman, but yeah, no, it looked like a total piece of shit. And they like
I saw it. He's good. He's all right, but it's still not a reason to see it.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, I almost watched it just to have like, let me look at something in comparison, just like even if it's shitty, let me just look at what they try to do with the material in another way without knowing the material. So
yeah, but I did laugh at one point when the scene with Weasel and Ava where like he's like, I've always loved you, and then Ava like goes and she like lays down on his bed. All I could think of this time around was that SNL sketch, "It's time to play old French whore." I was like, Ava, you a slut. And then of course, like the scene like when Sue Norton and Mark Petrie like go in and Donald Sutherland catches them in the house and everything, and like he knocks out Mark Petrie, and then Sue Norton, I'm like, dumb bitch running up the stairs. How stupid are you? Dumb bitch running up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
In capital letters, Rutger Hauer is the far superior Kurt Barlow, because he is like, as like everyone always turns to the Tobe Hooper one, where literally Kurt Barlow only has the one scene where he just pops in to kill Mark Petrie's mom, and then he's gone, and then you see him get staked. Like you don't get any of the fucking visual, and just like going through talking about all of the, going through all of these side stories with these people in this town. This is what really gets me the most of all, because if, once again, just another comparison, the 79 Salem's lot and the 04 Salem's lot, the 79 Salem's lot clicks in at 3 hours, 2 minutes. The 04 clicks in at 3 hours, 1 minute. The 79, it's dicking around for nothing, and you don't get to know anything about anyone. The same amount of time, it covers all these other people in the town and fleshes out all these other fucking stories. So it can be done. Yeah. It was a terrible fucking script. Like there was nothing like they amalgamized so many people in the 79 version where they made it so like the doctor was also Sue Norton's dad. And they changed everyone's names, and except for Ben Mears, like Straker was Stryker, and fucking like, and just the fucking Crockett, like the whole shit with like him wasn't in it. All the shit with fucking Matt Burke and fucking Mike Ryerson wasn't in it. Like, and that's another thing. Like, and people who were talking about this, like, they lost so much in the translation where they're like, oh yeah, they hinted that Matt Burke was a pedophile. No, they fucking didn't. They said he was gay. That, like, yeah, like Mike Ryerson like hits on him. Mike Ryerson's a fucking adult. Like, that's why he's just like, listen to your old teacher. Like, he's a high school teacher. This dude's been out of high school for a while. He's not a teenager. Shut the fuck up. I also like that, I like the comparison in the narration when Andre Braugher first comes up and he's just like, he balances out like a fistful of pepper thrown into a bucket of salt. I was like, yeah. It's the one time the closest comparison I could hear to that is Donald Glover talking about when his first stand-up special where he talked about how his mom bought them a box of Cocoa Puffs after his brother threw a fit, and they always had kicks, and like then the mother just took like 1 cup of the Cocoa Puffs and mixed it into a container full of kicks. So and he was like, it looked like a Kanye concert. It's just all like little. It's like 1 Cocoa Puff for every 85 kicks. But yeah, look, yeah, sorry, fucking completely went off on a rant there. But yeah, just so much going on, like, you know, the hinting of how all of these people in the town have this underlying evil, and some of them you can tell they're just bad people, but some of them it may not be their fault, and it may be the town. Like the girl obviously with the kid, like she's in an abusive relationship. She lives in a trailer park. She didn't mean to get pregnant, but she's with this dude now. But then as it goes on, you find out, yeah, she's a piece of shit because she set up the doctor as much as he did. But then you look at Ruth Crockett, is just, she's the victim of, you know, her mom not being around, whether she's dead or divorced or not. And so she's got a father who's molesting her and no one to fucking tell anyone about it. So literally that's why, like, when she fucking turns, like, she's disgusted by him. And that's, you know, she's like, right. I'm not even going to fucking touch you. Like, you are not worth, I would rather fucking eat these fucking diseased seagulls than touch you. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you're rooting for the vampires in that scene. You're like, fuck this motherfucker. He deserves it. Like,
he's such a worm. Ugh.
Right, he is. And like, and the whole thing with like Dud Rogers, Dud at the beginning, he lives in a shack in the junkyard right on the outskirts of town. That's why Dud is still innocent. And Barlow goes after him first because everyone else in the town is fucking rotten. But Dud hasn't been tainted like that. Why? Because number one, because he's simple. But that's not his fault. He was born that way. His family was poor. They had to sell off their land, so they don't own the dairy farm in the town anymore. And Dud, you know, he's gone through life, you know, not only mentally but physically disabled. And Barlow preys on that, like, I can make you equal. And what's funny is the way that's set up, because I remember when I went to go show this to Melissa the first time years ago, which I don't think she's ever actually finished watching it because we took a break in the middle of it, like right after the first vampire scene when Dud attacks Floyd.
Watch the rest of it, Melissa. Do it.
Oh, she will. But leading into it, she thought it was like Needful Things because it plays like that. The first half plays a lot like Needful Things. It's the antique shop. It's what's going on here. And that's the thing, is it doesn't allude to vampires for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So if you don't watch a trailer, you don't watch anything you know about it, like, it feels like you're watching Needful Things, which is just it's a great thought going in, because, you know, and that's like one of the reasons why that fucking Hulu series Castle Rock, I watched 1 episode of the second season and said, fuck this show. Because the first season pissed me off, but I decided to give it another chance because they're like, oh, it's an anthology. It's a completely different series. And in the first episode, this chick falls through a pit and ends up in the Marsden house in the 60s. And I was just like, I'm done. Not watching this. She falls through a pit. She falls through a hole in the ground and ends up in Hubie Marsden's fucking other room. And Hubie's having like a demon orgy. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm not bothering with this bullshit. But yeah, but like the whole thing where like Straker's talking to Ava and he was just like, I'm jealous because you're the one that wrote the letters to Kurt Barlow. And I, you know, and did you, you know, he's like, that's how long this town's been getting watched. This has been a long game. Barlow's been trying to get his way into this tainted hellmouth for 45 years. And that's why, like, it took all of these steps. Like, it's funny how they talk about a vampire has to be invited in, but they take it to that level where it's like he can't even come into the town without an invitation.
Mm-hmm.
And it took and there were like, and Hubie Marsden was trying to invite him for years, and that's why he was having Ava write the letters inviting him, and that wasn't enough. It had to be, the ground wasn't sour enough.
Yeah,
it had to be more tainted.
this movie really nails that shit. Like that
right
creepy undercurrent and the machinations and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It nails it. Nails it.
It nails it. It fucking nails it. Like, this is one of my favorite King adaptations. Like, as much as people give the ABC version of The Stand the shit, I really like that. It's better than the piece of shit that came out a few years ago on Paramount Plus.
Never saw it.
Oh, dude, there was a 9-part series and it was awful. Awful. They leaned on the fact that they had Bill Skarsgård play Randall Flagg, and they're like, this is all we need. No, it was terrible. And Whoopi Goldberg played Mother Abigail. Yeah, no, it was terrible. I didn't even finish it. I watched like 7 of the 9 episodes. I was like, this is awful. I can't finish it. Because 7 episodes in of a 9-episode series, and they hadn't even told the same story. Like, it was, they tried to Tarantino it and jump around all over the place, and it didn't work. But yeah, anyway, that's a rant for another day. But yeah, but this is one of my favorite King adaptations, and it's one of my favorite horror movies. Like, it's in like probably my top 30 horror. Like, and that says a lot, because it's, you know, there's virtually no gore in it because it was made for TV, but just the atmosphere of it, I fucking love it. Like, and like I said, it's a King adaptation that's worth that more people need to watch, especially after that piece of shit that came out.
Agreed.
So yeah, any other thoughts before we?
No, I'm good.
All right. Here. So if you are interested in watching Salem's Lot, it is currently available on the Internet Archive and on Odyssey. Both links are below. You're welcome.
Nice.
Because you cannot find it.
Really?
You can't even find this video on demand, which kills me because it's a Warner Brothers property that aired on TNT. You think it would be on fucking HBO Max.
Right. Hey, I said it once, I'll say it again. Viva physical media.
I ripped the DVD, and that's what's on the Internet Archive. Which it irks me because there's those 2 little scenes where there's French subtitles and they don't show up. When Ben first meets Ava, and there's like 2 French sentences, and then when Straker's talking to Ava. But I mean,
they're on the DVD. Tell you that.
Yeah, they're on the DVD. I'm not sure if it's out of print or what. It's only got a 480p DVD release. It's not like you got a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So fucking Warner Brothers, get on that shit. Let someone do it. Let Vinegar Syndrome do it. I don't care. Let someone fucking release it.
They licensed out a bunch of stuff, so if somebody wants it, I'm sure it's theirs for the taking.
All right. So before we get to our sections for next episode, we have one other matter to discuss. We need to decide what our next episode of Cinematic Jackass is going to entail. So, this is what we're going to do. Okay. I'm going to flip a coin here. Step 1, I'm going to flip this coin. Take my glasses off. Mark, heads or tails?
Tails.
It is tails. So, do you want to select, or do you want to pass it to Greg?
You know what? I'll pass it to Greg.
All right. So, this is how we're going to do this. So, in this tubby of Dubby, it no longer contains Dubby, but it's my old mystery flavor tub. So I thought that was quite nice. I have 8 selections of curated lists that I have on my drive of different categories of movies. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull one of these at random, much like we do our regular polls. And then we're going to give Greg a week to find 3 movies in that category, and we can figure out what we're going to watch out of that, because the rule of Cinematic Jackass is that none of us have to have seen the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I pulled out a slip of paper. Greg, your mission is the category that you must choose a movie from is Ozploitation.
Okay. Love it.
Aussie
Love it.
exploitation films. You're going to have a rough one because I've seen a lot of them.
Well, if
Glad
I
I
pick
dodged
three,
that bullet.
probably you should tell me which ones you've already seen so that I don't.
Yeah,
pick...
you might want to collaborate on this a little bit.
Yeah, because if I pick 3 that you already saw.
Well, do you come to me beforehand with your 3, and then I'll say you got to put these 2 back or whatever.
Okay. All right. I'll look at that later on.
Hey, it's not your time yet, puppy.
Jumping the gun.
I didn't even say the word.
Oh.
Jumping the gun.
Okay, so now we need to make our selections for the next episode. And we're getting down. I'm dropping everything. And hold on before we choose. I just gotta make sure I'm here. Case
down to the bottom of the barrel.
We're down to the bottom of the barrel, and 2 of us still have wild cards in play.
Yeah.
All right, Mark, what was your selection since we know you don't have a wild card?
Hold on, I'm still getting it out. 2008's Let the Right One In.
Greg, your selection.
Only one of us have wild cards still in play. It's wild card, bitches.
All right, Greg, what's your selection?
I see myself frozen in video. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, you are frozen in video. That's odd.
Oh, that's all right. That's cool. Whatever. It's the end of the
Still
episode.
here.
Oh, there we go.
There you are.
So I've told Joe last season when we were doing wild card, my wild card choice literally would change every week. And I don't know why. There's no reason to share this or not share this. It doesn't say anything about my selection, but this has been front and center for my wild card for quite a while. It is 1960s Breathless.
Okay. And my selection is 2018's Assassination Nation. So we will get together in a couple of weeks for that. We'll decide on what we're going to do for Cinematic Jackass and when to film that, because that's going to be quite interesting. In the meantime, yeah, now you can do it. Titus is here to tell you to like and subscribe.
Good boy.
Mr. Clingy. So clingy. Yes. Yes, that's all. That's all. All right. So, yeah, thanks for joining us on this episode of Wildcard Cinema. By the way, you can find all the movies we reviewed on our Letterboxd, which is listed down below. You can also see our socials here on the left and right for our official Facebook page and our official Twitter page. I won't call it X.
Never.
2 years and never. But yeah. And like I said, thanks for joining us, whether you're viewing us on YouTube or on Odyssey, because I know there's some newer people that have been catching us on there. And thanks for joining us. Hopefully within the next few months, I can figure out to get us on other platforms, because Spotify can suck a dick because they're not helping out anyone anymore. Someone I know actually switched and went to Rumble, and I went, no, I will not do that. Because no, I don't want that stigma.
That's still around?
I'm going to show up. Sadly, yeah, no, not going, not doing it. Cold
Not
damn
gonna
hell.
do it.
Not going to do it.
Wouldn't be
All right.
prudent.
Okay. So, yeah. So for Greg and Mark, thanks for joining us, and we'll mash it on out of here.
Frozen again.
Come, run, everybody, run. See you and do the come, run.